Okay, so welcome back. I know it's been a while. Um, so today we're going to start a project that I should have started probably 6 months ago, but due to all sorts of things, just never got started. So today we're going to be starting to build a side table for one of my best friend's daughters who just had a baby a couple months ago. And basically, it's going to be a sort of a side table to go next to her nursing chair. Um, so it's going to be sort of a narrow table, just about as high as the chair. So something you can, when you're done feeding with the bottle or whatever, you can just throw it on the table right there. So we're going to make it out of cherry. The rest of her furniture is a cherry finish. So we're going to actually make it out of cherry, and then we will stain it. It's a fairly simple table, but I've added a few little things in it to make it a little bit more complex. And then, we'll see how it goes. So here is the basic design. So as you can see up here, I'll try and include a picture, but this is basically it's sort of a rocking chair, sort of a stuffed chair. This is her basic chair design. So what we're going to do for the table, again, it's a sort of a long, narrow table. Now, part of this is originally I wanted 12 inches, but I really couldn't get a 12-inch wide, thick enough piece of cherry that I wanted. So now we're going to have to just go with the width that I can get, which was 10.5, 24 inches long, which will be most of the arm of this chair. With a little side skirting here. We're going to have a lower shelf. Oops. Sorry about that. A lower shelf way down here. Legs are going to have a little coping detail. That's what it's hard to see, but there's going to be a little coping detail on the legs to sort of thin them out, give them a little bit of character. And then the plan up here in this little box here is I'm either going to do sort of a thin strip of white oak inlay, or I might even carve that out, put a little piece of glass set in there, and under there you can put like, right now I'm thinking of like, babies, often in the hospitals they give you, the feet imprints. So taking a little piece of paper with the feet imprints of the baby and be able to put it under that glass. And then if they have a second kid or a third kid, whatever, you can put whatever you want under that glass. But something to indicate that this is for the nursery table. So this is the basic idea. This is what the legs will look like. Again, I've sort of drawn in a little bit of coping detail here. It'll make them thinner, a little bit more fancy. We'll do a little Roman Auge, I think that's what it's called, at the top. This is actually going to be a shelf that's going to be banded. So it'll be a shelf with a little sort of band over the top to kind of give it a little bit of an edge, so that things don't just slide right off it. A little detail about how I'm going to do the legs, how I'm going to inset it. Here you can see the shelf coming in. This will be inset into the leg, and then you've got this little band. It's going to go over the edge just to give a little bit of a lip to the shelf. And then this is just, I'm going to carve out a little notch in the post, top of the legs, and then the side skirtings are going to come in. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a 45, if I'm going to do this sort of notch here. And then the lower leg, the shelf will just be squared off and come in. There'll be a big cut in here, and the shelf will literally just slide into that pocket. So that's the idea. That's the plan. Hopefully I'll be able to put in a couple pictures of what the other table that could have come with their furniture look like, as well as what their chair looks like in this video, so you guys can see that. But that's the plan.